right, so going back to the big picture of the whole food supply chain and beginning to break down food greenhouse gas emissions across the supply chain. This chart is hidden for now, but you can see the color key at the top. Green is land use change. We talked about that on Tuesday. The brown color is the on-farm emissions like fertilizers and animals producing methane. The orange color is animal feed. The other colors are all the other areas, including processing, transport, retail, packaging. So we're going to look at these areas in the supply chain in the next module. But for now, can you guess which part of the supply chain produces the most greenhouse gas emissions? Okay, yeah, so look at that. The big takeaway here from this infographic is that the farm stage of the supply chain creates the most greenhouse gas emissions. They account for a massive 80% of the emissions. And I think I mentioned this on Tuesday to be careful when we talk about local and seasonal, because it isn't when people, what I hear, especially in this part of the world, that because it's local, it's automatically got low emissions because it hasn't traveled far. But actually, you can see here that if 80% of the emissions are coming from the production stage, from the farm stage, then it's not really about transport. It's more about what you're eating. So in this case, it's the beef and the lamb and the cheese. So farm practices and land use also have a huge environmental impact in other areas too. The other parts of the supply chain are comparatively small, even for plant-based foods. This means for many companies in the food sector, on-farm emissions will be the biggest component of their business carbon footprint. And that's why improving farming techniques is absolutely critical in tackling the environmental emergency. So yeah, 80% is the global average in terms of answering that question.